Greetings, everyone. Greetings, Hive member. Hope you all are doing well. Sorry that I was not able to stream this today. It was the combination of yesterday's streaming way past our streaming schedule, and then having to work 5 hours later. So it caught up to me, and as soon as I got home from work, that was that was it. I was definitely done for. So wasn't able to wake up or have the energy to wake up on when it was time to stream. So yeah, definitely took the opportunity to rest and recover. So I really looks like I really do have to reduce my streaming schedule, not to for on Twitch, not every day, to maybe 6 to 5 times a day. So still debating which days will work for me, but overall, yeah, it's gonna be tough streaming every day and being ready for the next stream, right? So that's the key point there. I am trying a couple things at the moment to get myself going. I am trying out this one item, this ginseng Panax. Oh, sorry, Korean Panax ginseng. So that's what that is. All right, so you feel free to check that on Amazon. So definitely great for energy, performance, and cognition, right? So try that out, but at the same time, yeah, once a day, not every single time, right? Or a couple times a day. It's very potent. So especially for my case, with high blood pressure and diabetes, I really have to make sure I monitor it, right? So but yeah, that's one thing that I'm using. Another thing that's been helpful for me every morning, right? Especially waking up at 3 a.m. For work. I really can't really prepare food without making a noise. So what has also helped me first thing in the morning to make sure I get all the good things, right? And once again, it's better to get the good things than relying on supplements, right? Once again, it is called supplements for reason. It is not replacements, right? So, but obviously, we do our very best to have variety as much as possible. But sometimes, you're gonna need to top up, right? So, this is where it's good to have supplements, but at the same time, if you can get your nutrients close to nature as much as possible, then that would be even better. But as for myself, once again, I know I say that breakfast is a very key source in the morning, right? Our first meal of the day, right? It's yeah, oops, yeah, drugs. But yeah, once again, just realize that supplements are supplements. They're not replacements. So if you need a top up here and there, right? Also having multivitamins is very important, right? Because there's just trying to get all your nutrients in every single day. It can be a lot, and especially if you're getting them from from food, right? Then obviously consuming a lot of food might not be ideal, right? But definitely, once again, it does help to have supplements, right? And just a combination to what has helped me in the morning, right? Especially me waking up at 3 a.m., right, and everyone's sleeping at night, so obviously you can't make a lot of noise. So what has helped me each morning is creating a smoothie, right? Probably can't see that because of the green smoothie, because of my green screen, right, filter. So this has helped me, and we did buy this originally for my son. This is the Ninja, so it's like a blender on the go. So obviously my coworkers like it and want to have one. Obviously it's probably like 100 something. I think we got this on Amazon, right? So it was on sale at the time, so it was very helpful. But yeah, this one as well, you can just this is quite heavy, right? So but if you like a workout, then by all means drink out of it, right? But you can snap it off. It comes with 3 different blending types. Obviously, unfortunately, it's not a USB. Be nice to have it as a USB or power bank as well, but it is for what it's meant to be, right? So it's pretty cool. It's pretty powerful. It has a blend smoothie, and then if you have any frozen frozen fruits or ice in it, then it does it does a great job crushing that. But it's it's been helping me once again. Very important as always. It's always good to have the good stuff in, rather than trying to eliminate things, right? The most important is that we try to get our nutrients in as much as possible, right? And preventing those shortfalls, right? You can eat healthy, but if you're missing one of your nutrients that your body needs, you will still get sick, right? So your body needs these things to operate and repair you and just keep you healthy. If you're missing one of these nutrients, then all that you can do is you're not gonna feel great. So definitely, once again, we always prioritize in making sure that we have nutrient dense foods as much as possible, and then you can focus on eliminating, and at the same time your body works with you, saying that okay, no, we're good, we have what we need, we're satiated, so we don't need to there's no need to eat, or say so. So once again, you're not fighting cravings, you're not fighting temptations, you're not utilizing willpower every single day just to overcome the advertisements that we see out there, right? And so it's better to have things work in your favor as much as possible, so that you're not always fighting an uphill climb when it comes to our health and our nutrition, right? So, but yeah, I mean, for myself, once again, there is with that said, with supplements and doing this 90-day program, and once again, each day from here on out is a milestone, because the most that I went for the first time last summer was 60 days, and then back to school life has happened again, right? So that was it. So but at that time, right, and I'm trying to remember if it was the summer but I'm thinking it was September, October, part of my 4-month hiatus. My doctor during the summer recommended uh, recommended that I go on Ozempic, right? That is because the main part of that, right, not because of the weight loss, right, but that would been very helpful as well. I was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes in April, and it was a sad but not surprising moment because I was not eating well, and I was emotional eating with stuff that was happening to my eldest son, just not going back to school since October 24th and still has not. So it's been 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 16, 17 months now. So, and he has chosen to go back into keeping himself isolated, not from the world, not only from the world, but from us as well. And he only comes out like midnight or a little bit past midnight to get rid of his waste and restock his food and water for the next 24 hours. So, but I was not eating well. I was very stressed, and at the same time, I wasn't streaming regularly anymore last year after doing like 79 days straight, and then the bullying started happening, and yeah, that was it for now. It wasn't right at the time. It wasn't right for me to start streaming and keep streaming while this was happening for my son. And as of now, you know what? Um, all I can do is help myself be healthy enough to just stay as long as I can on this earth to support him through through this the challenges that he's going through, right? So that's all I can do as a parent, just to be ready and support him, not to just take care of all of his needs, but just most important to guide him as much as possible. A great saying goes as they are from us, but they will never be us. And at the same time, nor do we own them or even control them. I would like to add there, right? All we can do is simply guide them through their own journeys through this life. So yeah, I mean, we can't live our lives or what we wish we could have achieved through our kids, right? That is definitely that was our responsibility, that was our time, right? And all I could do now is make sure that the future, the next generation has the best tools as much as possible that we can do and afford, right? So give them the best chance possible to survive, to live out their own lives, right? So and that's pretty much my mission right now. At the moment, it's just being healthy, and then be the best I can be as much as possible, so that whenever he decides to come out of his room regularly, right, then I'm hopefully he accepts my guidance as well, right? So but anyways, yeah, sorry to went on a little detour there, but yeah, I was diagnosed with diabetes, type 2 diabetes last year in April, and it was a sad moment as well, especially when we kept that news away from my mom as much as possible. Only in Christmas she kind of found out, right? I'm trying to remember if it was this No, actually, sorry, not last not last. My bad. Uh, I think it was more of. I'm trying to remember if it was last. Yeah, my mind's foggy at the moment. But yeah, it's one of these. Whether it was last year or yeah, it has to be last year. So probably in November, October was the only time that she found out, because the thing is, if I mentioned in the past on this channel, is that my dad had diabetes, and it was a long a long road for him, and we kind of experienced him just breaking down over time, to the point where he was, bedridden for the last 5 to 10 years of his life, and he passed away at the young age of 62, right? And my first son, was born 4 months before he passed away. So imagine me going through life without his guidance through, especially now what I'm going through. It would be nice to have him here, but I mean, that is life, and we kind of move forward with that, thinking that. And it's funny, this background behind me. We accept because he's no longer suffering, and that's all we can do, is just try to think of the positive, try to think of um all the good memories, right, for them to live on, right? So if we ever we're humans, we have feelings, we go through emotions, but at the same time, it's tougher for, we'll just say, their energy, their spirit to pass on, seeing us in the state, right? So we have those moments, but most important, we don't wallow in it, and let it hold us back, or it's hard for them to go in peace, right? So anyways, yeah, we saw, us as a family saw what he had to go through, and now having it come around the second time with the next generation, which is myself, right? It was really hard on my mom to accept that, and yeah, this is one of the main reasons why my doctor recommended me on Ozempic, which I believe was just probably in the fall or September, October, that I got it. So once again, reason why I bring this up, because obviously, maybe it's not the 90-day program that's been helping you. It might have been. It's probably Ozempic that's helping you lose the weight. So either way, once again, you can outwork what you eat. At the same time, there's just so much that Ozempic can do if you just continue to, keep the bad habits as much as possible. And once again, nothing. 90 days is not gonna solve everything, but if you can chip away 6 to 10% successful each time you do the challenge, or even more, right? That is another foundation to just pull back the layers of your past habits, right? And that is the foundation for me for doing this challenge for the second time. So I have a friend that is on Ozempic before me, so I sometimes go with him for guidance through his experience with it. But at the same time, we both have different experience and results with Ozempic, right? So for him, it is working for as intended, right? one of the main reasons, and I'll bring it up on screen here, right? Let's see, what is a good format? Maybe this is more bigger. Okay. So for him, it does work as an, like one of the ways Ozempic works is here on number 4, right? It slows the gastric emptiness. So it kind of slows the food leaving the stomach, right? Making you feel, constantly full, right? But for myself now today, right? It's imagine just having that food stay in your gut longer and fermenting. And if you eat fruits, as we have said in the program before, eat fruits on an empty stomach before you have your main meal, right? Is because fruits are meant to leave the body soon. It definitely has designed in a way to leave the body soon, so that the seeds can flourish and be planted somewhere else, right? So it went through those evolutions of having stronger coating, having various chemicals to make us, as they say, shit ourselves, right? Or just let it pass through as soon as possible. But if you're having food, and once again, unfortunately, the Western style of diet, or how we eat things, like we have fruits at the end of, just as as or desserts at the end to complement a nice heavy meal, definitely does not work in our favor, as having it stay in our stomach longer to ferment and produce gases, so that it pushes our when you're feeling bloated, one of the main reasons why, right? So just imagine this, your stomach is now slowly leaving, your food's leaving slowly through your stomach. And that's one of the symptoms for me, is the bloating, right? And especially with me having CPAP machine, right? It's constantly putting pressure, it's not like you're closing up your esophagus, right? It's pushing pressure for me, right? So it's a lot harder for me to lose weight, because it's I'm not going to the washroom regularly, right? So it only works, I'm able to go frequently as it fades away, right? So Ozempic usually is just once a week, right? So like day one of it, obviously, it's day one, day two, I don't usually go as much. But when it comes to before the next injection, right, on days 6, 7, right, or it's the effects of it has worn off, right? So yeah, it's that is for me, my experience, with that. But I know for my friend, like, he doesn't feel like he can eat less and feels full, and that's the main thing about that you're constantly feeling full, right? From the meal before, right? Like, he's satiated, just having half what you call half a cob of corn, right? uh, and he can't finish it, right? So I don't get that effect at all. When I was on it, I'm just like, I'm eating, and probably at the point where, because I've stretched my stomach, because I was just eating like there was no tomorrow, right? And then you see something, then it's like you just had a meal, right? And having it again, right? So I definitely got the point where I stretch my stomach, and it doesn't really do anything. I mentioned this to my doctors. Like, I don't think Ozempic's working for me. Obviously, now he's just, all he can do is just raise the dosage from me. And you start, if you're on Ozempic, you start at 0.25 what's it, MMs? Wow. Or milliliters, right? And then obviously, depending on, after a month or after 3 months, right? For myself, general blood work and check is every 3 months. So you just adjust. He adjusted if. So I went up to, as of now, 0.50. I don't know if I went up to 0.75. But overall, it's been, kind of lowering it. I might force myself to lower it a little bit more, back to the original, starter, right? Because that's the thing, it's, I'm not clearing this, my digestive, that's great, right? So yeah, but the reason why he wants me to stay on it is that it's, for heart reasons, right? Especially, me having Ozempic, high blood pressure, and because my dad had 2 strokes, and obviously the heart attack that claimed him, right? Having a history of that in the family, obviously, my doctor wanted me to stay on it, right? And then, fair enough, right? So I'm definitely, hopefully, at the point, especially when I did my last blood work last month, on second week of February. I already mentioned, I lost 15 pounds. I'm going through a hybrid of the paleo diet, and kind of the foundation of, the 90 program is, part of it's the paleo of just, eating as close to what our ancestors have eaten, just, eating whole, natural, organic foods as much as possible. He just basically said it doesn't matter if, once again, great for you that you're eating well, you're losing weight, but this is no longer the part of lifestyle anymore. You are diabetic, you have high blood pressure, you have a history, family history of stroke and heart attack that runs through the family. So you need to stay on these. You need to go back to your statin drugs, right? So that's the thing, right? So as of now, part of me still does not accept that, right? I would love to, address that, just eating properly. Once again, it's gonna help you in the long run and develop great habits for yourself, to just reduce the the buildup, right? And as you clean up your system. So, but at the same time, as we are talking about having supplements, so that's all we can treat the Ozempic at the moment, is just having the drugs that the doctor recommends as as the supplement here, right? So once again, drugs are there for to help with whatever diagnosis that your doctor has, but at the same time, you got to realize that it does have side effects. And for my side effects for statins, and then once again, if you guys can avoid it as much as possible, it's tough. This is definitely one of the main reasons why I stopped running, because one of the side effects for the statin for myself, everyone's different, right? So for myself, I get muscle soreness, right? So um, me trying to get back into running, and obviously for me, just stretching and just walking it out before I start my run, I'm getting cramps on my walks, right? And I'm just like, this bites. Like, how am I supposed to even start my run if I'm already getting cramps on just warming up, right? So it was kind of like deflating. I think this was 2022, I guess, 23, right? And it was, yeah, it bites that I can't even during the pandemic, right? That I can't even get back into running, right? And we did try, there's so many forms of statin, right? Statin's kind of like the last part of a long name of when it comes to cholesterol pills, right? We tried two more different versions just to get me back, and very important, like for my doctor, thankful, it's like for him, it's like it's better that I remain active, right? So trying two different other forms of statin, cholesterol pills, like it just made things worse, right? So drugs can be good, but at the same time they will come with side effects. You're stripping away, especially if you can get from food, you're stripping away, other things that are meant to help you digest and help you at the same time cleanse, the effects of those nutrients that you need for these certain things, right? But we try to get the potent right, and it's not being in its pure form as sometimes, right, not getting the stuff that the fibers and whatnot that's part of helping the digestive process, right? But it is what it is. So as I mentioned in past streams, when is it gonna be too late already? Right? You don't want to get to the point where, okay, well, you have the wake up call and you just have that moment. It's like, okay, I need to, as they say, get my shit together and turn things around. Oh, what happens to the point where you can't turn things around anymore? Right? So it can be in your best control to live a life with preventative as much as possible. Like we, sometimes we're pretty bad at this as well, right? Staying on top of the maintenance of your car, right? I know it sucks and can be pricey, but it does, it's cheaper than when a full-blown, engine failure or cracked engine or new transmission. Just having the regular maintenance is, it's a lot. It's a lot better. Especially like a good example, if we'll stay in the car department. Just imagine just having, just getting, oh my gosh, the maintenance is going to cost me $2,000, right? It's like, well, you can buy a new car, right? And they do that now. Like every time you bring your car in, the dealer or the car salesman will put a note. Oh, we love to buy your car. We're low on supplies. We love to buy your car for this amount of credit, right? And you're just like, well, that's pretty cute that I'm gonna buy my car for $10,000, right? And then I don't have to deal with this car payment. But what am I buying? Like a vehicle for $20,000, for $30,000. So a $2,000 amount at the moment is so much cheaper when compared to you're paying $500, $500 to $700 every month for the next 8 to 10 years. So if you look at that picture, right, it's so much cheaper to be preventative for your health. Say it might be cost you to eat whole or eat organic or getting quality food, but at the same time having to spend time at the hospital, now unable to work during that time at the hospital, or feeling sick and missing work, that is even more expensive too, right? So if you can change things around, then it's best that you do so. I mean, just if the pain is not too great, like as a dog sitting on a nail and not moving, because it can tolerate it, so there's no point in moving. But that is what we're doing right now when it comes to our health. It's fast food is so convenient. We don't have to do the cooking, prepping. It's done. It's ready. We pick it up at the window or at the till. But it's definitely not great for or convenient for our overall health, right? So Ozempic is, once again, it's great, and it's advertised when it first came out to help out, it's type 2 diabetes, but at the same time, celebrities were using it when it first came out for them to lose weight for their next gig, right? And it's been out of stock during that time, right? So lucky eventually, it's been mass produced now. So but yeah, I mean, it does, once again, drugs do have its side effects, and once again, food has been evolved in a way for us to take those things in small dosage and at the same time be able to leave our system safely. But it does come with side effects, when we'll go back to this list here, stuff that I do experience for myself. The common ones is nausea, right? Vomiting. Luckily I don't get those two, but the next three actually is what I get. It does change, your, once again, it stays in your stomach a little bit longer. So when it's time to go, it's time to go. So sometimes I get diarrhea, and the constipation is definitely constant, right? So I could be sitting there and just like nothing, right? So but you still feel like you have to go, but it's nothing, right? So abdominal pain, I get that as well, right? So these are the three things that happen. Lots of appetite, unfortunately I don't get that, and that's what the Ozempic is meant for, right? To definitely feel full and satiated, because it's leaving your stomach slowly, right? Other serious side effects, and I really don't want to read through this because I do not want to go through any of these ones. So pancreatic, well, man, I'm not great with medical terms, so my wife's a nurse, so this just rolls off her tongue. So you guys can read it there. So inflammation on the pancreas, indicating severe abdominal pain. So hopefully that does not lead to that for me, right? Kidney problems can exaggerate existing kidney issues or lead to new ones. Hopefully that is not the pain that I feel, right? So I'm hoping it's just lower back pain from lifting at work. Thyroid tumors. There's a potential risk of thyroid tumors, including based on animal studies. Once again, man, animal studies. I mean, if we're talking about lab rats, right? Totally different physiology, right? So, we are more closer to chimpanzees than anything, but at the same time, we're not testing it on them, right? So, hypoglycemia, particularly when used in combination with other diabetic medicines that can lower blood sugar, right? So sometimes I go through that, and that's why I at the same time, even when I'm having this, right, I have to be careful as well. It does the same thing as well, right? So I have to monitor, especially when it's great for energy, performance, and cognition. I have to monitor that part of the thing. I think I have. Let me see if I did look into it. Side effects on this one. Let's see. So so at this bottom part here, diabetes medication, because ginseng lowers blood sugar combination. Combining it with insulin, which luckily I don't have to do any injections, or oral hypoglycemia can lead to hypoglycemia, there's low blood sugar. So that's the part I had to monitor when taking these supplements, right? So today's day 2 for me, but at the same time, this does help act like caffeine without the caffeine effects. And as I've, for myself, being having the streams and feeling tired before stream is not great, and I do not want to go having coffee at 4 p.m. just to be alert, right? For our streams. Once again, I'm here for my community. I need to stay on top of my health to be there for my community, right, and for my family as well, right? So yeah, Ozempic is as it's been used for, is not being used for myself at the moment. It's just for my heart, as the doctor was saying, right? Keeping a healthy heart function as much as possible. So let's see. We did have these ones here. Allergic reactions. I don't think, not too much, right? Injection. Well, yeah. I mean, I'm okay there. Gallbladder disease. Hopefully, nothing to anything that department. So I mean, like I said, it's I'm just on Ozempic for the heart reasons. It's definitely not contributing to any of my weight loss, right? Because I love to eat, especially last year, right? That's the thing. You have to go to the root cause, and that's the habits of eating, right? We can have the drugs, the supplements to aid us, but if we don't deal with the actions that we take and the choices that we make, and if we don't come to terms with that, you're just adding more fuel, or fanning the fire more, right? So yes, your great example is wearing a back support, right? You're wearing a back support to protect your back, right? But doesn't mean that you can lift anything now because you have a back support, right? So it just means you're being cautious and protecting your back. Doesn't mean that now all of a sudden you can lift 100 pounds, right? So definitely, once again, it's the different function for that, and it's doesn't give us the the thought process of us to be to be reckless now, right. So once again, these things are here to help aid us, as once again, to be supplements, but they are not replacements. So eating well and creating habits over time, undoing, once again, it takes almost the same amount of time, depending on your focus, to unwind, untangle, remove the layers of a bad habit. It takes time to establish a new one, right? So, all we can do is just get started today, this moment, when it comes to our overall health. And once again, whatever tools you need to do, whether it's buying a portable blender, supplementing on various things to get it in each day, while not having to consume so many food to get various health nutrients, right? Then that is the path that you may need. So let's not get to the point once it's irreversible, right? And that's the hardest part, where any changes that you can make, and then that is my something that my doctor has told me. And as much as I'm gonna fight for that, to change things around by changing my habits and eating right. Once again, it's not perfect. I'm human. I'm not perfect. I still have lapse of judgments here and there when it comes to eating food, especially on this current 90-day challenge. And at the same time, getting to know people, reaching out to people, and obviously they're still in the old ways of eating. And it's you try your best to find a compromise and just get back on track as soon as possible. So once again, thank you guys for spending time with me. I don't want to get into the same situation I did last night, but yeah, this is kind of a heated topic for myself. But at the same time, I need to definitely get my rest here as much as possible. And once again, Dystopian, thank you so much for the lurk. So yeah, if this has been helpful, feel free to like and give it the thumbs up. Feel free to head over to my QR code here to head over to my Linktree website, or head there directly with entering coachryanj.com. It's still a work in progress. There's just so much things I can do with the time I have. So I try my best to work on that, or have help from my business coach to work on that as well. Because we are planning to do a 3-day workshop on March 23rd. So still debating on the venue of how to do that, whether it's a webinar. Definitely do not want to mix that with my Twitch channel. So definitely it is focused on a certain thing, right? So to those on Twitch, you guys understand, right? So Um, just definitely want to help those who are wanting to look at their health journey, right, and not get confused with other things that do happen on Twitch, right? So just figure out, the venue of online venue for that one. Whether it's using this current platform that I'm using to stream on 3 different platforms, it does have a webinar feature, so you might, I think there is a sign up form that, so I have to talk to my coach, my mod on Twitch regarding that. And yeah, I'll get that information out for you guys. Once again, that will hopefully that'll be on March 23rd. So I will be giving a brief summary of the 90-day challenge. I will more likely give the 2 weeks out for free to get you guys started, right? Definitely, once again, part of the 5-week foundation. So you guys will be getting 2 weeks of that free. So 7 weeks 2 weeks head start to do that. So 7 weeks foundation, right, over 5 weeks, right? So to make that decision, right? Then day 2 will be talking about your core values, which is your at the same time establishing your identity. As that has helped me establish mine, and something that I live and breathe behind with my 3 core values, which is family first, my growth second, and my community third, right? So obviously there is the undisclosed one depending on your beliefs. Obviously God above all, right? But after that, my family, myself, my growth, and then my community are my core values. And once again, we're dealing with every day. Feel free to Google that, how many decisions someone goes through every day. So we're going through 35K every day. So having a set of core values is going to help a lot. Just filter through all that noise, avoid a lot of the shiny objects that are out there, and at the same time, just definitely keep your detours to a minimum as much as possible. Right? There's going to be a lot of things that look sexy and nice that may draw your attention, especially doom scrolling, right? So having your core values will filter through that, and then on day 3 having those directions that are truly important. So we'll be doing a goal setting that will help amplify, that'll be on day 3, will help amplify you getting through the 90-day challenge, giving your core values a sense of direction, right? You have your core values, but now what to do with them, right? So now having your goal setting sessions on day 3, which we like to kind of call the 3 MIQs, or based on my 3-pillar system of reset, reclaim, and then rise up, right? So this definitely will be goal setting on steroids, right? So instead of setting goals, we set experiences, right? So it's definitely not, we just don't think life, we think life through point A to point B, where we are now to where we want to be, right? So it's easy to just critical, here I am, I need to lose 10 pounds here, and it's easy to have that, okay, I just need to lose 10 pounds, but we don't go to the point C. What would that really mean in our life, right? What would losing 10 pounds be? Having more energy, keeping up with the kids, keeping up with the family, be able to, perform better at work or school, being able to enjoy life more, being able to be on the field instead of the sidelines, right? So that is, having those experiences, right? Rather than, thinking of just losing 10 pounds. What kind of experience losing 10 pounds would be, right? And then we go even further than that on, because, um, these are still considered short-term goals. We do look at basically goals that are not achievable, but life mission, legacy, right? How would people want to remember you? What will be, at the same time, as morbid it may sound, what is your eulogy? How would you want to be remembered? Are you living your life as, that as what you set out to be? Are you in that same direction as your eulogy? So this is what we're going to be talking on the 3-day workshop, right? And hopefully that, once again, that is something that, part of my holistic coaching that I'm doing. But yeah, that 3-day workshop is free. I just, want to share that information that has helped me and made it, even going through the stuff that I'm going with my son, I can remain as chill as much as possible. So that has definitely helped me just, navigate through this as much as possible. Obviously, triggers of eating food has always been there since high school, so almost like 20 years. So once again, 20 years of that layer, right? Trying to reduce that in these last 5 to 6 years when COVID happened, right? So 20 years trying to clean up in 6 years counting, right? It takes time, right? So but definitely, these last 3, I think it's 2021 when I started my coaching journey, right? So definitely has helped me a lot, right? So it's still one thing, I'm not perfect, but I'm continuing to work on it. That is my second core value, growth, right? Evolving. And once again, my theme for 2026 is adapting, right? And adapting once again with the stream and learning from a lot of you, as my followers on Twitch, trying to learn from you guys and trying to be a better coach, a better human being. And so you guys have helped me a lot to be interactive with different types of personalities, right? And that's the thing, I understand my son, right, through that lens, because it was a fear for me, right? Not because there's public speaking is going to be a fear for a lot of people, but to what level, right? So it's not about I'm scared of being in front of people. It's just, for me, is what to say as a response. And my followers see that on the channel. Sometimes I can't respond to texts, and on channel, is it genuine? Is it way above my knowledge and expertise? It happens, and I sometimes I can freeze on stream because I never had that experience, right? Or I've never learned that terminology. So that is kind of where my introvertness comes in, or my fear of public speaking, is just not knowing. And I think a lot of you guys can relate to that, of not knowing stuff, right? And not knowing what to say, right? So it's always an ongoing thing to continue to learn. So I'm passionate through that, wanting to learn, because that overcomes that fear of not knowing stuff, right? And having to respond to people, because then once again, that is my core value. And uh, and that's it's two things: my evolution and wanting to connect to my community, right? So I get to overcome that fear because there is, um, once again, day three is what we call fuel, right? Part of my ongoing coaching program that I'm still working on, and this is 20 years of learning life through millionaires, through billionaires, successful people, what how they utilize their 24 hours, what common things that they keep saying, and the program that I put together and working on, right? Not part of 90-day challenge. It'll be probably something in the future as uh, it'll say a lot of you become successful in the 90 challenge. So it's not only now you have nutrition down set, and you're on top of your nutrition now. Now it's about living life, right? So it's not very it's one part of just existing, right? It's another part of living life, right? So we don't want to just be here just to exist. We want to be here to live life to the fullest, that with other peoples that are very important to us, and at the same time have that ability to leave something behind when we're no longer here. So that is definitely once again my kind of life mission, and that's why I kind of stream, because ever since ever since high school I just and this is definitely credit to my my idol, I will say my hero, a hockey player for my local, my Vancouver Canucks, Trevor Linden. He didn't use his fame and his the money he was making for himself. He used that to use endorsements and sponsorship to give back to the community, right? And that's definitely something that I inspired to do. And as of now, it's you either I'm not the point of just monetary donations, but I can give my time, right? And that's the main thing that I would like to relay onto others. If you're ever feeling lonely, not needed, and not loved, or on your own, trust me, you are needed. um, you just have to have that mind shift that that people do need you. Now it's really up to you to you know um, be willingness to try things new, right? So feel free to, once again, I know that deep down inside of us there's something that we're passionate about, so let's volunteer for that, right? If we don't have funds to do, then volunteer our time. Trust me, we are needed, right? Just at the same time, we can't we can't be picky on the opportunities that are in front of us, the stuff that we are scared of doing, but at the same time we support. So we are needed, and at the same time you put your time, your commitment to that, soon you will be loved, because and with that as well, soon you will inspire as well, to those who value your time, your effort, and at the same time you're doing it for a great cause, something that you are passionate about. So if you ever feel like you're alone, volunteer to a cause that is close to your heart, right? So once again, thank you guys for joining me tonight. I have gone down this is usually supposed to be a 30 minutes. Now it looks, I'm looking at the time. This I've been talking for an hour and 5 minutes. So we definitely will end it there. And once again, there's always tomorrow as well. So thank you everyone who's joined me tonight. Coops, State Line Customs, thank you so much, Dystopian. Means a lot to you, and those who are watching on the sidelines, right? I appreciate all of you. Thank you so much for watching these evening videos, whether it's live or whether it's watching it the replay. I thank you guys. Once again, it inspires me to keep going. You guys are keeping me accountable, and that's all I can do. Once again, each day is going to be a milestone, as now it's day 2, and I'm not stopping anytime soon. So just gonna keep going here, and once again, I'm looking forward to hopefully joining you guys on that 3-day workshop. And at the same time, hopefully, if you guys are wanting to have already tried out, sticking to your New Year's resolutions and it's not working, or have a little bit fallen off your New Year's resolutions, feel free to join me. It's never too late, as we say. Once again, let's practice life preventative, and let's not get to the point where we only have this one body, right? We can't replace it like we can buy a new car, right? Because the other one broke down. So let's do our very best to maintain our health as much as possible, and just make the most out of it as much as possible. All right, thank you so much for joining me tonight. I really appreciate you all. Once again, as always, continue to raise your environment so that you're able to flourish and raise yourself, and that one day you will be the impact in your own environment, your friends, your family, your colleagues, your own community. And through that, once again, we don't know what people are going through. Everyone's going through various challenges, but act of kindness, a wonderful greeting, compliment, hug, right, can go a long way in just igniting that flame for someone. That once again, you paying it forward will help them pay it forward in their own end. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I wish you all a wonderful evening, and I will catch you again on the next stream. Take good care.